Ibu tadi yang cak kan?
Kumonika. Tidak kata dari. Mari. Itu yang ada amacoin. Amacoin. That's it.
Kita pembaca ya. Tradition.
Tipo dorador.
Kugara tine mari dzakachinja.
Right, lokoma. Mina sengizikhiwa ngapha nxa seli-ready jojayiva ndithi aumbowecha vakomana tisimudzi. Romo. Hi guys, welcome to today's match. My name is Cravo Platinums. Today's match is between Stanley Marco and Stanley Iribhanya, though both players are better known by their pseudonyms Iribhanya and Deletee. It's a race to 21 and the pot is $1,000. We are coming to you live from Queen Sports Club in Bulawayo. Here is hoping that the sound is coming to you loud and clear. Ifoni ndwalihambele ngapha mfowethu comment la. Ngafaka ifoni ngapha mfowethu comment. Naiva. Okay guys, this is our first break. Iribhanya on the toss and they'll start proceedings for us. It is a fair break and 2 balls drop, both of them reds. The table is open and it's official, we are on. The table is lost. Iribhanya taking yellows, although his last cue ball positioning let him down a bit. It would definitely need something special for him to stay on the table here. He goes for a long range board and is a bit off. Stanley Marco on the table now, playing reds. It is our first frame, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Delete contemplating on his first shot here. With the layout of the balls, I would say you'd want to go for an attacking start here, and I think he is, although his cue ball positioning is a bit questionable. He switches to defense. Come on, I hope the lighting is better now. I hope the lighting is better, my guy. Those of you watching from on Facebook and also on YouTube, thank you very much for the support, guys. It means a lot. It is valued. Do let us know who you are backing here. Which of the standees are you supporting? It is the first round, but is already turning into a tactical battle here. Though not for long, I presume. Not for switching gears here from defense into attack mode. If we don't see any mistakes, this is surely going to be the first frame that falls for Marco. I would have thought maybe I was going for a top spin and have his cue ball on the right cushion. But let's see what it does here. That's beautiful, man. That's just beautiful. And Stanley Marco takes the first frame, and it is 1-0. Although it is a long way to go for him, or rather for both players, as it is a race to 21. But it is a good start nonetheless. It is a good start. Stanley Marco to take his first break. Not break as in timeout, but his first breaking shot. And is he going to kick things off with a break and sink? The break is legal, although no balls are dropping. It turns the table over to Iribhanya. Edmo Gumani, welcome, thank you for watching. Edmo says it's Odeze Madanga. No true statement has been said today. Odeze Madanga, but on the table it's a different ballgame altogether. As soon as they break the balls, all relations or anything else tying them goes out the window, and it's a battle worth of respect. Is he going to close the table on reds? Let's wait and see. Oh, a tad unlucky there. It's just a bit unlucky. And the table is so open. And Deletee is weighing his options here. Although I think the easiest, or rather the more common decision would be to take the reds, as I can see just two problem balls, and the rest are a bit left to the question of how he plays the cue ball. There we go. Table is closed, the reds are taken. Is there a possible finish here? Yes. Will he be able to make the finish without any errors? Let's wait and see. Now that's a bit difficult to decide whether he was going for the pot or just to close the pocket and take a defensive stance. Although with the pace of the cue ball and where it is, I think he was going for a defensive shot, and Iribhanya goes for one himself. And it's been a very cautious approach from both players early on in the match. I think they both know that whoever makes the most errors is going to pay the cost. So they're taking a very cautious approach here, avoiding to make mistakes. So you are going to see that as the game progresses, whoever goes in the lead is the one who will start to be a bit more explorative, a bit more adventurous in their queuing. But for now, we are going to be seeing a very tactical battle. Let's see how he plays this one. I think he was going for a kiss into that cluster there, just above the bottom center pocket there. Let's see how he tries to recover here. Okay, it's not a half bad shot, although it depends now on the way that Iribhanya sees the table. On any other day, a well-oiled machine can clear those balls, but that would need you to be on the mental level of Jerry or Aiden, because they are the types of players that go for finishes even when no one else sees them. But as for these guys, it's too early for them to be going for those. I think for most players, rather, the only players that I know would no question come out guns blazing are the likes of Bibido, the likes of Ronald Kazembe, Ronald Sullivan, the likes of Akana Jimo, or even the one they call Mighty. Those are the types of players who come out guns blazing, regardless of whether they view the battle as needing to be tactical or not. They don't change the type of play. I do hope, however, that the sound is coming to you loud and clear. I would love to know where you're watching us from, so that I better know how to interact with you guys. Rue in the house, my brother says he's watching from Iran. Marco on the prowl, Marco on the offensive. He needs to be pinpoint accurate on the cube that leaves himself for the last red, because to determine where he lands on the black. I think this is good enough. He goes for a top spin, bouncing off the top left cushion there, just like that, leaving himself on a fairly easy pot for a composed player. And there we go. Sorry guys, I'm just seeing now that my scoreboard is not up to date. I do apologize. The scoreline is 2-0, and Delete is trying to take the lead early on in the match. Perhaps that will be a determining factor on how this match goes, because in my experience, players who manage to grab the lead early on in the match will dictate the pace of the game when it goes on, because it's quite hard to try to recover when your opponent has taken an early lead, unless if you pull off something quite special and try to keep your opponent off the table, and you are a bit resilient to pressure. But if you're not very strong-minded, the pressure will slowly eat away at you, and you won't play your game. Iribhanya's breaks have been fairly good, fairly good. The first break, he dropped 2 balls, and on this break he dropped 3. So I'd say his break shot is a bit quite strong. Iribhanya on yellows. Is he going for the finish, or is he still taking that cautious approach? Oh man, unlucky Iribhanya, unlucky man, unlucky. He was going for the long pot, and it was a couple of inches off, or rather maybe an inch or so off. Over to Stanley Marco. Let's see what he decides and how he plays this. He's on 4 reds, and it's his first visit to the table. Okay, he's going to develop his ball, meanwhile leaving Iribhanya, or rather trying to leave Iribhanya on an awkward shot, but it doesn't really come out the way he was hoping. as it leaves Iribhanya with fairly an easy pot to the top center pocket. He plays it rather wonderfully. So the cue ball is a few centimeters off where he desired it to be, but I think he can work with this. It's not perfect, but it is something. He has a couple of options, yeah, and both those options are defensive shots. He can try to develop that yellow, bringing it from the extreme right cushion to this bottom right cushion, and mark the red that is lying on the cushion here, and give himself a lifeline. Or he can go for a pot and then properly close the pocket. There we go. He's trying to clear the left side of the table and then move over to the right side, or not. Although I think leaving that yellow on the right side of the table, on the left side rather, is going to give him problems. Later on in the match, he would rather just clear that yellow ball and then move over to the right side of the table. There we go. This, I think, is a better option. Now he's in a better option to, he's in a better position rather, to properly play the yellow. Not for a pot, but just to close the pot. Okay, I think I'm not viewing this, the last yellow quite properly. I thought it was a difficult pot, but he thinks otherwise. Let's see how he plays it. He's going to the far left pocket. Beautiful stuff and beautiful position. You would not want anything better. There is not a better position on the table than the one that he left for himself. He draws one back. The scoreline is 1-2. No apples so far. We have not had any apples so far. We have had one dry break from Esnako and two fruitful breaks from Iribhanya, but no finishes, no apples. Stanley he's going for his third break, his second break rather. Will he pot or will he not? Another dry break from Stanley Marco. You know, for these top players, or rather for any pool player, I would say, the break shot is one of the most important shots of the match, because the level of these players has come to a point where anyone can shoot, anyone can finish. But in order for you to put yourself in a position to be able to have more finishes, you have to have a very good break shot, because now that determines just how many finishes you're going to have. Because you cannot wait for your opponent to give you the table. You'd rather create that opportunity for yourself. Now, for you to create that opportunity for yourself, you have to have a very good break shot. Which is why I think Maluva is one of the deadliest players in Zimbabwe right now, because his break shot is just massive, man. His break shot is just massive. Although he has just dropped just a tad on the form that he was on that ended in the name Mr. Apple, but nonetheless his break shot is still one of the very best I've seen in a while. Iribhanya has a possible finish. Composure, composure, composure. He just needs composure. Very questionable the way he played that cue ball. It's very questionable. I would have thought that that red was going to the top right pocket, but I do not know what he was trying to do there. When playing pool, there comes a time where the only position that you need for your next ball is zonal. You don't need to be pinpoint accurate, but just leave it in the zone. But it is something that most players have a hard time doing. Then there comes moments of magic like this that leave me in awe. They leave me in awe, man. What a finish from Iribhanya. What a lovely finish. You would never want anything better than what he just did. That was massive. That was epic. That was just magical, man. The vision and the precision. The scores are level 2-2. And Iribhanya showing us early on his intentions. He is here for business. He means business. He is not here for jokes, for funniness. He is here for a fight. Now he's going in for his third break. His first two breaks have been fruitful. He's been breaking and potting, but he hasn't been able to finish. Oh man, oh man. He fouls on the break. It is a fair break, but a standard foul. Stanley Marco on the table. Can he also reply with a reverse dish? Our Apple so far, Iribhanya on a C+. Yes, Marco yet to register an Apple. But it is a long race. I'm sure we're going to be seeing lots and lots of apples. Or rather, it is my hope. Because it is what we love to watch. It is what we play pool for. It is what we watch pool for. The finishes, the memories, the shots, the visions, the creativity. It is why I love this game. Brendan Kumire. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this guy in the comment section named Brendan Kumire was one of the best shooters we had seen back then. I think it was around 2019 or somewhere there. He was one of the best shooters. He was a person who I would think in this day and age would rival the likes of Bibido and Fakanati in terms of just shooting, plain shooting. This guy was one of the best. Then he just decided he no longer wanted to play pool. Man, oh man. The talent he could have been. Sure, Chikudzumbu. I hope I got that right. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Edmungu Mane says, Marco, uchatoiswa hakuboundary nemajuda ipapo ndokutaurira. Lloyd Chichawangana It's Shona Lloyd, teacher Wangana. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for being thank you for being in the room tonight. Shout out to you, man. Fun fact, you are my namesake. My first name is Lloyd. So it's a pleasure to have you, man. Sazita madiko hapo. I've been too busy in the comments missing what was a great finish from the Iribhanya. He is going to be sitting on 3 now. No mistakes from Stanley Ngwenya. 3-2 is the scoreline. 3-2 is the scoreline. From 2-0 down, he comes back and wins 3 straight frames. Also, guys, if you are interested in an Iribhanya jersey, they are selling at a very low cost of $18. What you simply do is get in touch on WhatsApp with either him, the Iribhanya himself, or yours truly. That's a fair break from Esmarco, and that is his first break that drops a ball. Although I'm still not convinced with this break shot, but this time it is good enough, and he's going for a finish. I can tell you that much. You remember that when I was talking about those guys coming in cautiously and trying to get an early lead that would give an advantage in the later stages of the game? Well, that playbook is out of the window. Now these guys are coming all out. The confidence levels are rising and the nerves are settling, and they are going for finishes. And barring any mistakes, this is going to be an apple. Barring any mistakes. Well, it looks to be, rather. Let me not jinx it. It looks like it's going to be an apple if he plays his cards well. That was just a bit too basic for my liking. I would have thought he was going to put that center pocket with a bit of left spin to come off the right cushion and into the yellow. Let's wait and see what it does here. That's nice. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. He played position for the same pocket, and it came out very nicely. Not perfect, but very nicely. And I'm sure he can work with that. All he needs is just to pot. That's beautiful, man. He leaves himself on a straight shot. A bit of an awkward pivot, but should not be any problem for a seasoned player like him. There we go. Esmarco draws level, and that is his first break and finish of the match. We are in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. We are in for a treat here. We are in for a treat. I'm loving it every bit, man. I am loving every bit of this match so far. Coming to you live from the home of Pool, Queen Sports Club. Here at Queen's Pool Academy. A huge shout out to our sponsors. Now that is the first try break for Iribhanya, and I think this one is going to cost him. It is going to cost him, again, barring any mistakes on the side of Deletee, the man from Liquid Lounge, the man from Shampa. The table is closed. There was a bit of a gamble on whether the red was going to land, although it landed quite favorably. Now all he needs is a proper pattern, and he will have himself back in the lead. It is early days yet, but we can already start to expect fireworks. Not to say they haven't been, but I'm saying they can do much better. I'm saying they can give us a show. I'm saying we know it's going to be a big show. Please do let me know if the sound is coming to you loud and clear. Decent Disky. How are you, my brother? One of the people who inspired me to play pool all the way back in Country Park in the early 2014s, I think 2014 and 2015, somewhere there. Kunjani kutasi yami? Kuhamba kanjani lapho? Marco failed to create something, and I think it was because he was a bit reckless on that table closing. Left himself on an awkward position and failed to finish. Now Iribhanya switched off into a defensive mode, snookering Marco, who is searching. He was hoping for a session sink. Well, in life we don't always get what we want. Now Iribhanya contemplating on his next move, because I can tell you what is happening in their heads right now. Both of them are thinking about who staying in the lead. For Iribhanya and for Marco, they want to stay ahead of the other, because in the later stages of the game, that is going to be playing a very key factor in the mind and on the composure of both players. Tapiwa Msawona, how are you, bro? Let us say Mfumba Boyre. Tapiwa Msawona says rakashatirwa zimunhu iro but zoda kutambwa. Unyepe dzoda kutambwa baba, dzakashata kani mawani. Guys, do not forget to leave a like, a follow, and a share. Do share the link with others. And let us have a good time on an easy Sunday. Sorry, on an easy Monday. I do love myself a weekend, man. Steven is asking where the honking is coming from. Mabazi ya Harare must go. Marco in the lead once again. The scoreline is 4-3 in favor of Stanley Marco. He was supposed to have recorded a reverse dish there, but he made silly errors and cost himself an apple, although he did manage to get the frame, but he could have done much better. As Marco has requested for a timeout, a toilet break, and we are going to be having a couple of breaks as we go, because this is a long race. Tabo Amos is asking the meaning of Iribhanya. He says he likes the name. Well, Iribhanya simply put means it's all good, it's okay. Number one. Frame number 8. Yes, Marco with a break and sink. I think his breaks are now turning out a bit better, although he fails to finish. Iribhanya closes the table. And is going to be hoping for a skill shot in the top left pocket. Is hope the correct word I'm looking for? I do not know, because it is a big risk to leave yourself up to hope. So I'm going to change the word from hope to he's going to be making sure he gets a skill shot. Oh man, his accuracy was a bit off there. He needed to combine those balls perfectly to get the double drop. I usually say it is a good thing that the players do not get to see the comments, or rather the comment section as they play, because one glance at the comments would definitely rock your boat. Because some of the comments that I usually see, they are not pleasant, man. They are not. Can S-Mark will get the kiss of the yellow just above the bottom pocket there? If he can, then this frame is as good as over. Oh, it's a bit off, man. It's a bit off. Although he manages to switch up the game and get himself in the driver's seat because he's secure the black and also managed to relocate one of Iribhanya's yellows, which is going to be a bit stressful on how to develop it, or rather redevelop it, because he had managed to get his balls in proper position. Okay, that's a nice shot, although it is very risky. It is very risky because if Iribhanya can manage to put the yellow just off the center pocket there, getting himself positioned for the yellow on the right side of the table, he can manage to bring himself back on the left side of the table and put the yellow and also cannon into the black ball and perhaps develop it anywhere else on the table. If he is lucky, get himself proper position on the black ball. Although it is easier said than done, it is quite possible. All you need is to dream just big enough and execute even better. I think he's going with the right spin, get himself off two cushions, leaving himself on that position. He just drifted a bit too far. He would have wanted to leave himself on the other side of the yellow so that he could pot and get the cue ball into the black. He will be using the right spin to get himself on that side of the. Is it a left spin or right spin? Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. How unlucky is that? How unlucky is that? That was near perfect. That was near perfect. He just got a bit more roll on the cue ball than he wanted, but that was near perfect, man. Two shots to Marco. That's a very good shot. And I think it will be extending the lead to 2 frames. It's not too bad, but that is not what he wanted. But they should be not. Okay, he leaves himself on a small cut to be able to get himself off the top left cushion and back on the side of the table. Just like that. No mistakes from Marco, and the scoreline is 5-3 in favor of the Shamba men. And in return, Iribhanya also going to be asking for a break. The scoreline is 5-3. Shamba leads, Blawayo trails. Like I had said, a big shout out to my sponsors, Ultra Foods, Mao Logistics, red forwarding, red arrow forwarding, premier packaging, 24/7 supermarket. You are the heartbeat of the Cover Platinum's brand. Frame number 9 will be commencing quite shortly. Iribhanya to break. This is going to be his 5th break. Iribhanya waiting for Stanley Marco to be able to start the frame. Marco also went on his 2nd break. Was it necessary? I don't think so, but it is what it is. Our followers, thank you for the continued support. You give us the power, the will to keep going, keep giving you the content. Your support is priceless. It's invaluable. It is second to none. Patrick Patifibs, thanks bro, thank you bro. How is Harare? How is the Sunshine City? A belated birthday, my bro. Maxo Singwango says they must play Molaya from Guero, these two. I concur. And both of them have had a couple of dealings with Molaya. Marco trading blows with Molaya. I think Molaya is in the lead based on the number of races they've played. I think they've played 3 races. Molaya taking 2 and Stanley taking 1. I stand to be corrected. And Iribhanya, I think, has had 1 match with Molaya. The result, I'm not sure. Chris Nyashano says he challenges the winner. Well. Tabo Amos. He says Deletee is a good soldier. He goes to war wearing a hat. I know, right? And Marco, like a tiger on the prowl, like an alligator smelling blood, like a lioness waiting to pounce. He is going for a finish. And it is going to be a finish. All because of a foul break from the Iribhanya himself. No mistakes from Marco. Extends the lead for the first time to 3 frames. Scoreline 6-3. And that is another one visit clearance from Deletee. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I have to take a call. I'll be right back. Do excuse me for a couple of seconds, guys. I need to attend to something. I will be right back. I'll be back before you know it. The scoreline 6-3 in favor of Marco. Iribhanya on the table, trying to redeem himself. That was beautiful from Iribhanya. That was just beautiful. And that is a reverse dish to reply. Iribhanya Iyoyo, back within 2 frames. Okay guys, I'm back. I hope I didn't miss much. I hope I did not miss a lot. So the first thing I noticed is a black ball in the pocket, and I'm not sure which pose Iribhanya is playing, but I do know that a finish is very close from either player. A very uncanny mistake from Iribhanya there. He rarely misses shots like that. Mark on the table, and this should be framed down. Unless if he makes the same mistake that his opponent just did. Munashe phela sezinjenjana njenjana iripo yakabatana nemajuda phakaipa. I know that Shona is not that good, and most of the guys who are not from Harare, or rather who are not Shona, will not know what njenjana means. Njenjana is a baby snake. That's beautiful for Marco. Relentless in his pursuit of a bigger lead. Trademark Marco. Scoreline 7-4. Back to a 3-frame lead. Marco marching on. That's Marco breaking. And I think this is by far his best break so far. It is break number 6 for him, with 2 of those having been tried. I think his breaks are now starting to make sense. He is in a lead, though not too comfortable, but for now it is good enough because he has gotten 7 out of a possible 11. So I think that's quite good enough. If he maintains the pace at which he is operating, it should be a comfortable win. But if Iribhanya switches things up, we might have a match on our hands. That's a beautiful position there. A brush into the black bogey, leaving himself on great position on the yellow, although he would have wanted to have a bit of a cut. But he makes do with what he has and leaves it just an inch off. the perfect position. Now this is going to be tough to control because the cue ball might just have more speed than he actually wants to leave himself on the good side of the yellow on the left side of the table. And now I think it's a matter of where he is going to position himself to get proper stance and play a good shot. And it was always going to be a problem for him. And just like that, he throws away an apple. Or did I just speak too soon? Can he pull off a fluke here? Oh, it could have been. It is not, but it could have been. Ayanda Gumbo, it says, udliwa njani, delete ugqoke original. Man. Back to the game, Iribhanya is going to be going for a snooker to give himself an advantage. And he just does exactly the opposite of what I was thinking. He is going for a finish, is he? Or is he going for that snooker? But maybe this time behind the black. Let's wait and see. He is not going to be going for a snooker. He is coming head on collision course. No time for funnies. He needs to be very, very accurate on this one to leave himself on 3 balls and a fairly easy finish. No problems. No problems for Iribhanya. Can he bring himself within 2 frames just one more time and keep this race alive, kicking, pumping? Leroy says, Banya Ano Papa. Well, it's just a matter of time for us to know, or rather for us to find out. Patrick says, Harare is awesome, bro. How's the seat of queens and kings? Ah, it's never been better, bro. We just had the Nepals tournament here. It was a pleasure having all those guys here. And back to the table, Iribhanya brings himself on the verge of a 2 frame deficit. Another uncanny schoolboy blunder from the Iribhanya. Man. And Marco would be smiling all the way to the bank if he keeps making these blunders. Unforced error, that one. Frank Show. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? No mistake from Marco. Just one more ball to increase the lead to 4 frames. Will he delete it? Will he erase it? Your guess is just as good as mine. No mistakes from Marco. Frame done. Lead enlarged. 8-4 it is. Another possible apple it was for delete, which he threw away, although he managed to regain the frame. He could be on 4 apples now, but he has thrown away 2 apples. Iribhanya for his 7th break, and his luck seems to have just vanished. Another try break, man. Hey, quite unlucky. Quite unlucky. Marco is going. He's going for the Reds. Questionable choice, but let's wait and see what he's thinking here. Apologies for the music in the background. I'll be taking care of that in a second. Yes, Marco is just playing music on his phone. So do give me a couple of seconds to iron that out. Eva? And we're back. Iribhanya on the table with hopes of cutting the lead short. He seems to have lost his footing here. A drop in his confidence as he hands back the table over to Marco, who will be going for a finishing. What is that? What is that? What is that? I would have thought he's going for a stun shot to leave himself on the other side of the red. Jesus. That was a sharp cut off target, and he pays the price by dropping the cue ball. His scratches giving Iribhanya the advantage, who is going to be putting himself in the driver's seat as far as this frame is concerned. He's trailing 8 frames to 4, a 4-frame deficit, just about a third of the way in this race to 21. So many things could go wrong. John Chirongoma says he's in. He has come to support the Banya. Welcome, bro. Welcome. Rodi Taffy, you are absolutely right. You are right in every sense of the word right. I couldn't have said it better. In every aspect of the game, he's playing second fiddle. Man, oh man, man, oh man. He was going for a search. I love to call those search and hopes, whereby you search and hope to what? Iribhanya now with yet another chance to finish the frame. Will he go for it? Now this frame I can finish. So I would think that for a player of Iribhanya's caliber, it should not be a problem. It should be fairly easy. He should believe in himself with a 3-frame deficit to take care of. Patson Sivanda says, mistake loading. I will not be commenting on that. His confidence levels seem to have risen just a tad. French Joe says, check in iyo inodya. Iribhanya takes another one. Cut the deficit down to 3. Man, those boys. Another timeout. This time Iribhanya initiates. We are in for a roller coaster. We are in for a smooth viewing experience, but a tussle on the table base. Dennis Machindi says, delete. Nothing else, just delete. I think he's disappointed. John says, let's go Banya. Banya, the diesel engine. Wait and see. Well. Iribhanya seems to be recomposing himself. He says mistakes have been coming, but Iribhanya. He says Iribhanya. Break number 14, and it is break number 7 for Marco. Who will keep his form as far as the break shot is concerned. His break seems to have improved drastically. Trevor Taremekedzwa. Taremeredzwa. Sorry for that, man. Sorry for that. Trevor Taremeredzwa says, delete charge here, Icho. Thank you for joining us, bro. Dragged in. He puts it in 3 words and a simple punctuation. He says, delete him. Komarodi, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Parisepa Buddhas. Beautiful spin. Nowhere near perfect, but it's always nice to watch the cue ball behave in that fashion. I know I'm not the only person who enjoys seeing the cue ball dance. I love making the cue ball dance, but it's always a pleasure to watch it being done by these boys. Trevor says delete some items. Talking about making the cue ball dance. 2 weeks ago, it was the birthday of Zimbabwe's own cue ball wizard, Adriel Shamu, better known as Deletee or Letsolenyane Sawe, Baba Kiri. all the way from Biles. I'm yet to see a better cubal precisionist than Deletee. He makes it seemingly easy. He weaves magic that will leave you in awe. In my opinion, he's one of the best cubal mind my English, man, tongue twister that is, exhibition, oh my god, someone assist me. He makes every game an exhibition. So what do we call him? I never loved tongue twisters, just on paper, but the exhibition that he puts up whenever he plays is a marvel to watch. Divine, I think you're the perfect candidate to help me. Okay, cool. You're the best person to help me put across my point. What do we call a person who is a master of exhibitions? Iribhanya on the verge of claiming yet another frame, cutting down the deficit to just 2. But before that, he needs to play perfect cubal for the black. Wow. No mistakes. And yet another finish. And there we go. 8-6 is the scoreline. Just 2 frames marking the difference between the two. 14 frames played so far. Deletee taking 60% of those, Iribhanya taking 40, or somewhere there. I'm not a mathematician, but I think I'm quite close. Iribhanya to take his 8th break, and this time it drops. He started the match off very powerful on the break, and then that luck just seems to have just ran away from him. He seems to have it on his side now. And guys, that was a 1 visit clearance from Iribhanya. So that takes his total for this match to 3 so far. Deletee on the ball once again, looking to extend the lead, or rather restore the lead to what it was just 2 frames ago. Let's wait and see how he does it. There's a possible finish here. Will he go for it? He seems to be. Divine Dexter. He says, call that person Dexterous Alchemist. Man, you remind me of the Alchemist. Decide P. Manuere says this being unprofessional. right as you are, but you'll never see delete without headgear. You will never. Maybe just here and there, but I assure you, your chances of seeing delete without headgear are next to none. Wow, what a mistake there. Schoolboy blunder, schoolboy error. And it's going to cost him, man. It is going to cost him. I kid you not. It is going to cost him. I feel the urge to call this a routine clearance. But with the way that these boys have been making mistakes, I'm not sure if I should. But on any other day, any other day, this is just but a routine clearance. One that Dexter Madlala would make with his eyes closed. Yes, Dexter, you're right. That is his signature look. Most people know him by the caps that he usually wears, but I think this time around he just happened to switch it up. Decide, man. I appreciate you, bro. I'm glad that I can make your day after a hard day at work. You come to enjoy the sport that we love. Thank you for the support, bro. Thank you so much. You make it very easy to keep doing what we do. And Iribhanya cast down the lead to just a single frame. 15 frames played, 7 to Iribhanya and 8 to Marco. It is pound for pound here, pound for pound. Delete going for his 8th break. Is it going to pot? Another break and pot. Opens up the balls quite well. Are we going to be seeing a finisher? All Deletee fans will be hoping. And all Iribhanya fans will be hoping not. Things we do for sport. All the way from Bulawayo, the city of queens and their kings. Bomfazo chayindoda. Bontutu ziyathunga. Beautiful stuff from Deletee. That is just beautiful, man. The finish is there. The chance is there. Is the precision there? So far, so good. 4 balls down, 3 to go. Wow, 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 wow. He seems to be in overdrive mode, cruise control, if you will. Although, I don't like the way that he designed his pattern. You always want to be on the nearest ball before black. Deletee calls this playing tennis on the pool table, whereby you go left to right and in reverse. You leave yourself prone to mistakes if you do. No mistakes from delete. No mistakes whatsoever. Beautiful stuff. And it is another apple. Beautiful stuff from Deletee, man. I love to see him in this kind of form. Now, I'm sorry. Please, guys, don't mind that error on the scoreboard. An error on my part. The score line is 9-7. The score line is 9-7. As far as apples are concerned, both players each have 3 apples to their names. That is 6 apples in total so far. Iribhanya closes the table and is on reds. The reds are laid out quite well. Iribhanya weighing his options, contemplating, planning, plotting. Should be another apple here. This time for the Iribhanya himself. The time for mistakes is gone. Now is the time for being pinpoint accurate. Silas Makumo says, "Come on, Riot." Decide says Detroit Diesel. Yadzia. Man, it's pound for pound, blow for blow, apple for apple. This is a match that is living up to each and every expectation. Man, oh man. The cue ball is not perfect, but I'm sure he can work with that. Hopefully the cue ball doesn't drop to the top center pocket. Beautiful stuff, man. Another apple. This time is Iribhanya replying with an apple. Beautiful stuff, man. 9-8. is the scoreline. We're in for a treat. We are in for a massive treat, man. I know I'm not the only one who enjoys watching, who is entertaining as this. We all do. Nonetheless, Iribhanya hasn't had a chance to take the lead in this match. But if he keeps at it, who knows? Break number 18 of the match, and break number 9 for Delete. Another break and pot. This time he drops 2 to the center pocket, I think, and 1 to the far left. Table closed. Delete onto the res, and I think we're going to be seeing yet another finish. Bar any mistake, this should be another easy finish, and this time it should be Delete claiming that one. The reds are laid out quite well, and now it is the time whereby you need to map out your pattern from the last ball backwards. Beautiful right spin to leave himself on the correct side of the red, on the right side of the pocket. As soon as he clears that one, the frame should be easy to finish. But let's wait and see, man. You never know. Like I keep saying, you never know. Just like football, pool is very much full of surprises, man. Roddy Taffy. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I will try to raise my voice a little bit. Although I think it is perhaps a problem with my microphone. But you can expect improvements in that aspect. Evans Gibbs says, where is Green Machine? Keda. Asakasia Snooker. No. He's still around. But it was because of work commitments. But going forward, I think he's going to be more available. And I did forget to say, Marco threw away yet another apple. So far he's thrown away 3, but if we do not count the current one, he's thrown away 2 apples, but has still gone to claim the frames. So with that in mind, I think this is yet another of those frames whereby he fails to finish in one visit, but yet goes to claim the frame again, which is something that Iribhanya needs to be working on. The lead looks to be on the verge of extending to 2 frames. No mistakes from Amako. The scoreline 10-8. Delete in the lead. break number 19 of the match. Iribhanya with another try break. Marco trying to take advantage and perhaps extend the lead once again. His first shot is quite good. Takes Red's shapes for a finish. If he doesn't pull off one of those mistakes that he keeps making, it should be 11. And he gets position for the only problem ball that I think he had, because this other red has 3 pockets to which it goes, so I do not think we can consider it a problem ball. I think it just depends on how he plays position for it, although now he leaves himself on quite an awkward position, taking into account the next ball. But no problems for Delete. That is just perfect, man. That is perfect. All he needs now is to be able to pot it and leave himself a clear path to the black ball. Man, oh man, he goes perfect. That is wonderful, man. That's a brilliant shot from Delete. Navigates the yellows to leave himself perfect on the black to extend the lead once again to 3 frames. Delete, delete. Mkoma Rodi, I do hope that the volume is now to your liking. The score 11-8 in favor of Delete. And that was yet another apple from Delete. He takes his total to 4 apples, level with Iribhanya, which brings our total number of apples to 8 out of 19 frames. 8 have been apples. So I think the level of play today is quite good. Iribhanya on the table, on the verge of cutting down the lead by just one frame. If he doesn't pull off one of those funny mistakes that is been successfully making sure he does whenever he leaves himself on a possible finish. I don't think this time we will be seeing any of those mistakes. Down to 2 balls, the black being the third, and again, just as I was saying, yet another mistake. Ayanda Gumbo says, problem here, I'm supporting both. I'm sure you are in the same boat with a lot of people right now. Oh, delete, man, delete. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. That is wonderful. That is beautiful, man. Delete seems to be in delete mode. This should be yet another finish. No mistakes from delete. He's on one ball. The black being the second and last. Potting is not a problem, position is not a problem, and surely potting is not going to be a problem on the last ball to have himself back on a cushion of 4 frames. No mistakes from the Shamba ace. The scoreline 12-8. Yet another break. 20 frames have gone by. 12 frames claimed by delete. Meanwhile, 8 fall to Iribhanya. Halfway in this race to 21. It is a pleasure. It is a pleasure to be the voice that's coming to you live, bringing you the action live. My name is Cravo Platinums. and it is always a pleasure to be bringing you the sport that you love right into your homes, right into your phones, on the go. Do not forget to follow the page. Do not forget to like. Do not forget to share with family and friends. And those on YouTube, thank you for following Queen School Academy. Your support is second to none. Let's keep subscribing to the YouTube page. Let's grow it. Let's get it to 1,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys. Now break number 21 of the match, and it is break number 11 for Iribhanya. And this time he breaks and he drops one ball, leaving himself with an open table. Balls spread out quite nicely. All he needs now is the vision and ability for a long pot to make things easier. No problem this time around. That's a beautiful pot from Iribhanya, man. Wonderful stuff. Ato Musekiwa, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Your support will not go without notice. Thank you so much. Here's hoping that you are enjoying the action here. Those guys are giving it their all. But just one or two moments of madness, which is what makes sport what it is. Nice position for Iribhanya there. I think he is going to be recording his first green apple because of the four apples. Oh, sorry, that was wrong information on my part. It is going to be his second green apple because he has four apples right now, of which just one is a green apple, with the other three being C plus clearances. He almost left himself in a very undesirable position there, but he was just a bit lucky. And from now onwards, as far as the stream is concerned, it should be an easy flow, an easy ride, just like the legendary Peter Chobe would say. I think that is the commentator's curse. I was going to say it would be just a formality, but before the words would leave my mouth, fly off my lips, Iribhanya would scratch. Very unlucky, man. Very unlucky. If you're just joining us, the match is between the two Stanleys of Zimbabwean pool, Stanley Ngwenya and Stanley Marco. Iribhanya and Deletee, Bulawayo and Shanva. Although Deletee was born and raised here in Bulawayo, he currently flies his trade in the rich town of Shamva. It should be Mashonaland West, if I have my facts correct. He's playing for the Shamba outfit that happens to be Queen's Mine. Very rich in talent and monetary wise. This is going to be frame number 13 for Marco. Oh, I do apologize for the sound. We are next to a ladies' gym, hence the music. Apologies for that. I do hope that it does not affect your viewing experience. There is little that I can do about it. And once again, apologies for that. The scoreline is 13-8, and it is a race to 21. Delete on the table, and he is in assassination mode. He will not be making any mistakes here. And this should be another break and run for the man who calls himself Delete. No mistakes on the second from last ball. Just one more ball before he lands himself on the black, which means he's just 2 balls away from a 6-frame lead. The whole of Shamva, the whole of Queen's Mine, the better part of Harare will all be hoping that Delete delivers. Also, the half of Bulawayo, the whole of Ntumbane, the whole of Makwekwe North will be rallying behind Delete. They'll be happy. That is pumping. That is relentless. That is finishing. That is back. That is lethal. That is assassinating. That is deleting. Beautiful stuff from Marco. 14-8 is the scoreline. And that is yet another apple, I think. Do let me get my facts straight. And yes, that is yet another apple for Marco. Man, beautiful stuff from Stanley Marco. Just beautiful stuff. Frame number 23 and delete on the table. After Iribhanya failed to map out a finish. After his 11th, after his 12th break. So it is now delete on the table. Hopefully going for another finish. And I highly doubt that we are going to be seeing any mistakes from Deletee. He seems to have just turned on a switch and gotten himself in beast mode. Yet another pot, and you can see by the spring in his step, the urgency in his decision making, that is now in full delete mode. I think he's going for a long pot to the bottom right. No mistakes. How is he going to play position for the black? I think it's going to the same pocket. Look at the body language, the confidence, the hope, and the luck. This seems to be turning into a show. Well, the luck being that he didn't snooker himself, but that is going to be a double-edged sword because he did not snooker himself, but he did not leave himself with a pot because he was supposed to leave himself on the other side of the yellow closest to the white for an easy pot to the center. Now he has left himself with the mammoth task of creating a moment of magic here. Will he commit himself and perfect it? Mistake. And he scratches Iribhanya on the table. Will he cut the deficit down to 5 frames? There is no room for error here. There is no time for mistakes. Free shot and a visit. Cue ball in hand. Table to himself. For Iribhanya right now, the biggest opponent he is facing right now is himself. He is letting himself down with the mistakes. If by any chance you're asking what I'm talking about, this is exactly what I'm talking about. What is that? In what world is that a shot that you play if you want to win a match? He is turning himself into his biggest enemy, his biggest rival. An easy task will slowly turn into a mammoth task, turning moles into anthills, if it is how the saying goes. But this time around, he should be making it easy work. Just a simple drawback to leave himself straight on the yellow to the bottom right pocket, and then just a simple topspin to bounce off the left cushion. My word, man oh man, man oh man. What is happening here? That is horrendous positioning. Horrendous positioning. He now has two options, either to cut the ball as it is or double to the center back. He is going for the cut, and he does, gambling on the cue ball. A successful gamble, and he cuts down the lead to just 5 frames. Scoreline 14-9. Iribhanya pulls one back. The riot is under riot. Sir 45 says only Vardy can give a competitive match against Deletee, currently in Bulawayo. A break and pot from he who calls himself Mutsatandamako, which roughly translates to create a finish Marco, create a stickers Marco. I think on a scale of 1 to 10, I got that just above 6 out of 10. And yet another break and pot and possible finish, possible apple, depending now on how he maps out the steps, how he envisions the finish. A long pot to simplify matters, no problem. Down to 4 balls, just 4 balls between him and the 6 frame lead. With the way that is queuing, it is quite hard to go against this guy as of now. It is now a class on potting, a seminar, a workshop on how to pot and play position, courtesy of the man, the myth, Deletee. He's going maybe to bounce it off the bottom right cushion, just like so, leaving himself. He left himself on the wrong side of the yellow. He would have wanted to stay on the left side of the yellow to give himself enough room to maneuver the cue ball across the center divide. Is he going for a Sandile? He might go for a Sandile spin, the one that bounces off the cushion, opposing gravity into the abyss. He took quite a while pondering, plotting, planning on how to play the cue ball. Oh, very unlucky. He was going for a bottom right spin. That would possibly leave himself on the left side of the black ball. Very unlucky. Iribhanya on the table. His first visit in this frame. Is he going to cut the lead down to down to 4? Beautiful combination shot. He's down to 6 balls. He's going for the center pocket, perhaps into the black, like so, leaving himself on 5. This should be a fairly easy finish, but this guy has been making mistakes left, right, center, and within. Hopefully now is not one of those times. Hopefully now he is picking up himself, dusting himself, and making a killing. This should be an easy finish, man. The Iribhanya himself on any day can make light work of these 3 balls. My God. My God. Jesus Christ. What is this? What is this, man? Everything seems to be going wrong in every department, on the table and mentally. He goes for a double, messes up, leaves Marco with a fairly average, averagely difficult shot. If Marco goes for a pot without minding the white, he might drop the white ball in the far bottom right pocket. So he needs to play this one very carefully. There is the cue ball that I was talking about. Just a few inches safe for Marco. Back to 6 frames is the lead. Marco leads by 6 frames, and they also need 6 frames to win the match. Slowly but surely, the situation is getting dire for Iribhanya. It is getting dire for the man himself, the man behind the Iribhanya brand. Iribhanya needs 6 just to draw level, and another 6 to win the match. It is a Mount Everest of a problem, a Mount Fuji of an obstacle. But he is one player who I know hardly gives up, fights down to the very last, to his very last breath. Newman Showalter says, know your first shot. My brother, you are 100% correct. KB, my brother, welcome, Buri. Chiwaya teacher says, not his day to day. He's afraid of making mistakes. You have said it quite perfectly. He is being very cautious and perhaps too cautious, which ultimately is leading to more mistakes. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Marco is not afraid to explore, he's not afraid to make mistakes. and is being rewarded for such. Now his first visit is a free shot, and now leaves himself on 6 yellows, two of which will need a bit of developing. He's opting for a safety shot here, and he plays it quite perfectly. A safety from Delete. Iribhanya back on the table on very unfavorable terms. A fair shot is the least that he's hoping for here. Anything else is nothing but a bonus. And it is yet another foul. And deletes a problem for himself. That red was somewhat of a headache for him because it would, in a worst case scenario, give Iribhanya a chance for a pot and then another chance. So removing that ball kind of deletes a possible problem for Delete. He is on a rampage. He is on the prowl. He is going for a finish. And I don't think we're going to be seeing any other mistake from Delete here. Easy pot and should be an easy finish as well. Or Delete. One snooker, one advantage, one finish. Brilliant stuff. And the frame as the tally of frames. That Delete has won to 16 and the lead to 7. Not a position that Iribhanya wants to find himself in, but nonetheless, he is. And yet another break. This time, Delete is the one who initiates. 25 frames played. Delete needs 5. Iribhanya still needs 12. Sorry for that, guys. I'm back. And it's been a workshop on what not to do from Iribhanya. He's showing us exactly what not to do when you play pool. Because how? I mean, how do you make the mistakes that he's been making? This is frame number 26. And Iribhanya is going to be claiming this one. Ah, that's nice. That's beautiful, man. Nice spot. And it is another C plus from Iribhanya. And cuts down the lead to 6 frames, winning frame number 10. T Garadi. Anzi nechifino. Kwendaita seko mkoma wangu. Nathan Ngube, solidly behind Iribhanya. Pleasure to have you, bro. Yes, he is trailing, but this is pool. You never know. We have seen comebacks of even bigger straights. Aiwa, thanks Mkoma. Thank you so much. My heavy, the only one, the one and only, my heavy, my heavy. Nyara Zinyoni says he plays like us. Ah man, oh man. Like I was saying before, these players should never, by any chance, go on their phones and read what the comment section will be saying, because it will definitely mess up your rhythm, definitely knock you off your feet. Because some of these guys in the comment section will be talking as free as a bird. Delete unlucky on that one. He was hoping to end up with a more favorable shot, of which he did not, and now he has to make amends with that what he has. Yet another try to possibly weave a way out, which doesn't really seem like he's going to, and he quickly notices it and switches his game and waits for Iribhanya possibly to make a mistake. Because I can tell you for one thing that what is going on in Deletee's mind now is that he knows that Iribhanya is making mistakes, and he has come to a point whereby he is now expecting more mistakes, and Iribhanya is not shying away from the fact that he's making mistakes. He's still pushing for the finishes and making the mistakes, of which I commend him, because there comes a point whereby those pushes will eventually start to reward, but it solely depends on whether he is going to win the frame that he pushes for. One frame at a time, he might regain his confidence, or the total opposite. So it is a gamble, You keep pushing and risk making mistakes and get rewarded one frame at a time, which is what, if I was a coach, I would tell him. Or you can sink into the fact that you're making mistakes and try as much as you can to avoid making the mistakes, which will only lead you to make more mistakes. Like they say, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So in that regard, I think Iribhanya has been very strong-willed, strong-minded, very relentless, very resilient, because in light of the number of mistakes that he's made, he's still pushing for the finishes. He's undeterred. He's unfazed. And frame by frame, he's being rewarded because at a point the lead was 7, now it's 6. And if he doesn't make any other mistake here, it will be 5. If it, if that is not a reward, I don't know what is. And like I was saying, you went for it, and here is a mistake. And in another world, there could be a reward lurking about. Like they say, fortune favors the brave. And in this match, I would say Iribhanya has been the more brave of the two, solely because he has made more mistakes, but still remains unfazed. Yes, he's been shaking here and there, but he still remains unfazed. On the other hand, Tilit hasn't made quite even half the number of mistakes that his opponent has. So for us to say then he has been brave would be a bit of an, oh wow 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 wow, that is beautiful, man. He was going for the snooker. I do not know whether it is a snooker, but the way, the manner in which it was played was awesome, man. I'm a fan of spin, so never mind when I get excited with the cubal dances. Oh my word. The cubal mirrors the same position it was on the previous shot. Nothing is seemingly going right for this guy, which is why I applaud the will that he has. And look at this. I keep saying, and I will say again, with the number of mistakes that he's making and with the way that he's fighting, he is going to get rewarded one frame at a time if he keeps it up. He made 2 mistakes in this frame. He did not back down. And look at this. He gets the frame as a reward. It is now 5 frames. It is now 5 frames. 11-16 is the scoreline. We're racing to 21. Chai na machi. Afanya sauti tu. Ah. Agora sauti. Agora. Agora sauti. Agora. To me, this is too much. I. To me, this is too much. Delete is not taking any prisoners. He's not backing down. He's on his last yellow. No mistake spotting. Leaves himself on a long pot of the black. And this is going to be yet another apple for delete. Frame number 28. No mistakes from delete. The scoreline 17-11. And yet another green apple. Yet another green apple for Stanley Marco. Iribhanya to break. Frame number 29 in a race to 21. Stanley Marco needs 4. Iribhanya needs 10. And Iribhanya scratches on the brake, man. Hey, hey, hey. Very unlucky on that one, man. The white ball drops, gifting Marco an open table with a very, very pretty layout. And this should be fairly easy. My heavy says I was watching the game with my son and he's asking who is commenting. Tell him it's Mr. Platinums, the one, the only. Thank you so much, my bro. Thank you so much. Hoping that your viewing experience is very nice. I was a bit stressed for him on that positional play, but he made very easy work of it. And this should be it. Another finish from Marco. Guess who is in the house? It's Bruce Werner, my brother from another mother. Deleting sublime form. He is in sublime form and decide Manuere cannot help but just laugh and enjoy the talent that is Marco as it dashes to a massive 18 frames to 11. He needs 3 to pocket $1,000. Standing between him and 1,000 is the giant figure that is Iribhanya. Molaya in the house. He says Rowanai Chaiko. For those of you who do not understand what that means, I'll leave it up to Bruce Werner to assist me on that one. Molaya says he's watching his sizes, and I think that means he's also interested in a dance, in a jingle, in a fight, in a match with one of these guys, possibly the winner. And I know that Marco will not back down as soon as an official challenges is poised. Another break and pot from Marco. It is frame number 30 and Marco breaks and pots. It is his 15th break, the majority of which have been break and pots. Wow, wow. I did not see that coming. I did not even see what he wanted to do there. The creativity, the vision is sublime. The confidence is on another level. The spring in the step is a sight to behold. Perhaps that confidence now boiling to a point where it's becoming overconfidence, which means less focus, which means more mistakes. Something that Iribhanya will be hoping keeps recurring, and perhaps he gets more and more chances to come back to the table and try to cut that lead. While some think it's already too late, a pool player knows it is never too late until the black is dropped. And you never give up as long as you get a chance to come to the table. Meanwhile, you also have to look at the fact that Deletee is not in a mood for fun. He's not in a mood for small boys play. He's clinical, he's lethal, he's very dangerous, and he's hardly going to be making more mistakes. He's making an average of one mistake every three frames. That is a very, very dangerous percentage. Iribhanya going for the long pot. These are usually not a problem for him, but this version of him on this table, on this day, in this hour, is going to be a very horrendous, horrendous problem. A huge, 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 huge problem. The confidence levels are as low as Lake Mtirikwi in a season of drought, as low as Save River when the rains have not blessed the parched land of Manika land. Deletee just 2 frames away from glory, 2 frames away from a victory that is as sweet as a mature wine. Onyx Tradings in the house, all the way from Gweru, the heart, the center of Zimbabwe, the Midlands capital. Goma Clive, Kurise. Iribhanya on his 16th break, and the pots, frame number 31 in today's humdinger of a match. Thank you, Mr. Ball Breakers. Thank you, Peter Masiwa. Iribhanya is not backing down. Iribhanya is fighting. Iribhanya is swinging. Iribhanya is queuing. And Iribhanya is about to get rewarded with his 12th frame, barring any mistake here. And it is frame number 12 for the giant from Belandaba. Frame number 12. Frame number 12 for the giant who plays for Premier Pool Club in Bulawayo's Elite Pool League. One more time, a shout out to my sponsors: Ultra Foods, Mao Logistics, Red Arrow Forwarding, 24/7 Supermarket, Weevil Logistics, Premier Packaging, and the brand Cravo Platinums. A shout out to Ball Breakers in Gweru, a fast growing brand when it comes to pool arcades and pool tables. Premium quality. If you happen to be in Gweru and you did not know where the Ball Breakers Arena is, you are not a pool player. Do make yourself to the Moonlight Building for the premium experience in pool playing. If that is a bit too far into town, you can make yourself to the barn opposite the government complex, also housing at the barn pool arena. Go there and hone your skills in Gweru. Shout out to you, Morris Molaya. He's pushing the sport of pool to new lengths, new heights in the city of Gweru. You are massive, man. If you also happen to want a Ball Breakers t-shirt, you can get in contact with myself or the Ball Breakers himself, Morris Molaya Chinogwira, at a very low price of $20. It will be personalized with your name on it. Back to the table. It is frame number 32 and the 16th break that Stanley Marco has had to make. It is a dry one, and it gives the chance to Stanley Ngwenya, the Iribhanya, to pull himself back into this encounter, though one would think it's a bit too late. I believe not. I'm a believer of comebacks. I'm a believer in fighters. And I must say, Delete Stanley Marco has been fighting like hell in this encounter. The level at which he's playing is a sight to behold. This should be a finish for Iribhanya. Pondering, thinking, weighing options, trying to avoid the risk factor of making a mistake. Leaves himself with a long pot to the top right pocket, possibly leaving himself straight on the black to the bottom left pocket. Leave himself with a portable black, but the cue ball needs careful and very careful maneuvering, which leads him to make yet another mistake and gifts Marco a chance to revisit the table. Stanley Marco taking his time, not rushing. He knows what's at stake here. In every universe, in every reality, in every world, this frame is as good as done. What's left is the world of reality to affirm that indeed this one is as good as gone, to make sure that this one counts as frame number 20 for the men in blue, for the men donning the black hat. Not a favorable position play, but he has to make a do with what he has given himself. No room for complacency here, only room for composure and focus. No room for error. Or in Shona would say, Rapinda Nenyasha. In Pooh we say, well played. And it's frame number 20 for Delete. No mistakes from Delete. Beautiful display of skill, zeal from both players. Nothing short of entertaining, nothing short of mouth-watering. We have had a massive 8 apples from Delete and 6 apples from Iribhanya, on the verge of having yet another apple, barring any mistakes from Iribhanya. Esmago just 1 frame away from a sweet victory. Table closed. Iribhanya not throwing in the towel just yet. Iribhanya fighting like the fighter he is. Marco defending, scrapping, refusing to give away the lead. I have to applaud both players. I have to applaud both players. They have been very entertaining, though one hopes and prays that irregardless of which this match goes, we will have yet another one, either in the near future or in the distant one, but we need to see them at it again and again and again, because the entertainment Delete looking to make light work of these 6 reds, which are now 5, possibly 4 in a few seconds, hopefully 0 in more seconds. He's on the verge, he's on the hill. All he needs is a frame to claim the glory, to claim the honor, to claim the pot, to claim the win, to claim the victory. No room for error, and no error is going to be made if he has anything to say about it. But now he needs to be perfect, pinpoint perfect, on the position of those two rays on the left side of the table, just above the black. Beautiful draw shot. My word, perfect as the word perfect. Accurate as accurate. Accurate as the word accurate. Just like Peter would say. Just one more shot, one more ball, and another to draw him closer to a victory well deserved. Beautiful pot and bad position. It's a beautiful shot, but bad position. Now he needs something special to be able to pull himself out of this looming disaster of a frame. He's going for a snooker, at which is unsuccessful. Iribhanya with yet another chance to fight, yet another chance to claw his way out of this deep, deep hole. And his body language, his cueing action tells a story that we all know too well. A story of one who has given up. A story of one who has thrown in the proverbial tower. All Deletee was left with was a long pot which he was capable of making, but took too casually, gifting Iribhanya with yet another breath of life, yet another frame to serve face, yet another frame to fight, yet another frame to take. Leave himself on a fairly easy pot. All he needs is composure, and he takes the frame to make it 12 plus 1, which brings us to 13 for Iribhanya. 7 behind Marco. Scoreline 2013. We are going into frame number 34, and S Marco to break. Is it going to break and drop, or is it going to be another dry break? We see now. Yet another dry break, and yet another chance for Iribhanya to claw his way back out of this hole that he has dug himself and also been dug into by a very clinical Marco, a very relentless Marco, a very dangerous Marco. Tapiwa Chawatama, welcome to the match. Thank you for being part of us. Lynch SK, thank you for being here, bro. Iribhanya seemingly playing just to make up a fixture here because he is no longer taking as much time as he was to take a shot. Oh man, what a cut. Unlucky on that one. Delete back on the table. Tatenda kuzivakwasha mupasa. You are ever so welcome. Thank you for being a part and parcel of the wagon. You are appreciated. I've always been a fan of the saying, Famba dongi pa spagnolo. Chapewa Nashe Nyaku. Thank you, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A milestone follower and a top fan. You are very appreciated. Ndimi munotisimbisa makapenga. Neon Jekes in the house. Madiko Matskoma. He says I can't go down or give up Sashikot. Well, it takes a man and a half to do what Kelvin did when he was playing Caesar. Tafadha Muvami says Iribhanya just hold the stick and run away, no room for comeback. Well. Let's wait and see. Iribhanya on one more red, which is going to be a very difficult pot if it indeed has a path into any pocket. And Iribhanya gives himself a lifeline, places the ball in the pocket, sets it, waits for a chance to come back. El Presidente in the house, the one, the only. El Presidente, Tinashe Rufu, Hamban Potassium, Prosper Jr., Berikunashe, said Delete Kovano. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. You guys are the driving force behind the sheer will that I have into giving you only the best. The house has fallen silent as this frame and possibly every other frame after this one is going to be a possible decider for Stan DeMarco. Iribhanya going for the cross double. Ooh, just a tad unlucky there, man. Gives the table back to Marco, who is instantly going for the kill. He is not going to be thinking anything but a finish. All he needs now is to not respect the frame and keep playing the way he has been and kill off the competition once and for all. This one is as good as done. There is no room for error, no room for complacency. No room for relaxation. All he needs now is to maintain his focus, maintain his precision, maintain his aim, maintain his mindset, and take the win. Just one more yellow, standing between Sandy Marco and $1,000. Just one more yellow, standing between him and the victory. Well deserved. Just one more ball on the cushion, standing between Marco and the sweet victory. Only now do the players shake hands, and the match, ladies and gentlemen, is officially over. Hard luck to Iribhanya, and congrats to Deletee. And there he is, in front of Africa, in front of Zimbabwe, the pride of Shangva, after a hard fought victory. Ladies and gentlemen, S. Marco for the win. S. Marco for the victory. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. It has been a pleasure being your host. Until next time.